starting to record now. So end games are very important because you should know the basic mates first. Okay, basic mates means when you have tremendous advantage, how do you checkmate the opponent king? What is the tremendous advantage? Let us assume you just have a king each, but you have an extra queen. Now extra queen is a very big advantage, right? Worth 10 points, 9 points or 10 points, right? Now do you know how to checkmate with that, right? So you should know, right? You should know, and there is a very easy once you know it. But if you don't know it, then you might spend too much time. If you know it from any position within maximum 8 or 9 moves, you can give a checkmate, absolutely any position. Okay, so yeah, good, Vihan, you won, so that is good with queen and king. Yeah, I think most of you, given time, you do it, but can you do it very efficiently, very quickly, right? So that is what we are talking about.
Sir,
And
even
yeah.
middle game is important.
Yeah, middle game is also very important. So why end game I'll say is that, see, you when you have a one position, that time you should win very quickly. That is why first you have to learn end games, then you have to learn middle game, which are more complicated, and then you have to come to opening. Okay, fine. So did you watch my videos? The ones that I had sent, two videos. One is with queen mates and rook mates. Who watched both of the videos in this week?
Sir, I.
You can type on the chat so that I will know. Okay, Arav has watched. Okay, Shreya has watched. Good. Good. Okay. Okay. Other Arav, second Arav Bapat has forgotten. Okay, how can you forget? There are full entire week. You have to watch both of them, and I send one reminder also in between. Okay, Anjali has watched. Good, very nice. All right, fine. So let us.
Sir, I forgot because I had exams.
Okay, then it is okay. Then I will say that. First, you make sure that you study well and answer your exams, and then think. Okay, Swada has also
Then
watched,
I
which
got
is
good
very
marks.
nice. So if you have watched, then you will know the technique very well. Let me just go here and let us look at the technique. Let us very quickly recap it. So those of you who have forgotten to watch it or not watched it, first you should watch it. You might find this, but those of you who have really watched it will find this very simple. Okay, so let me set up a board. I'm going to set up white king here, white queen maybe here, and black king here. Okay, and it is white to play. Okay, fine. Okay, so now tell me how we should play. Anyone who knows now, who have watched the technique, will know this, how to how to play this. Or rather, let me set up a separate position. I will not put the king here, but let me put the king here, and then let us, from simple thing, you should watch it, then see. Okay, so what should be the first move here? Queen f1. No, you can do better. Queen d1. Now we are in the queen e1. No, that is correct. I mean, there is a even better move than queen d1, queen e1, queen f1. Right? Who has got that? Swadha, you are absolutely right. The best move here is queen h7, because do you see that this king is on the edge of the board, and now when you come to here, you kind of put a prison around this, right? So now you can't see, now this entire row is blocked by the queen, and the king cannot move out, right? That is the most important thing. See, to checkmate a king, you have to get the king to the edge of the board. Checkmate means, what I'm saying is, in end game, so that you only have king and maybe one piece, and then you want to checkmate, then the opponent's king has to be driven to the edge of the board, and the moment you get a chance, you squeeze him into the edge of the board and then get your king. Okay, now, so anytime when you get a king like this, then you should try to restrict him. Okay, if you do a move like this, queen f1, then the king will actually come up. Okay, and then if you give a check, it will actually going to take more time to checkmate. Okay, because now the king has come up, and it has got more place to go. But if you first itself, if you make queen h7, then the king is very much restricted. Now where can the king go? And the only move is here. Now you bring your king in. So even if he goes here, bring your king in, right? Maybe wherever he goes, doesn't matter. Wherever he goes, you bring your king in. Now, whichever direction he goes, it is going to become a checkmate in two moves now. Okay, because if the king goes here, then you come here. Now, wherever, if he goes here, I hope you know the checkmate. Simple. This is the simple checkmate, right? With the help of the king. If the king goes here, then also it is a checkmate here. See, once the king has gone to the edge of the board, then it is very easy to checkmate him. So that is why you should always try to do that. Okay. So I hope now what happens if the king is not at the edge of the board and wait, let us go here. And if the king is not at the edge of the board and if the king is suppose here somewhere in the middle, right? Then what do? Then you have to use the queen and the king together to squeeze the king. So in this position, it is, yeah, in this position now, you might say that, okay, queen d1 you would have said, but queen d3 is even better. Okay, queen d3. Okay, because now you see, now you have blocked the king along this rectangle, right? So, so then no, opposition will come in a different thing. Here it will not. In pawn endgame, the opposition will come.
Sir, you also blocked it in a slanting way.
Yeah, but slanting way is not fully blockading because the king can cross it like this, right? So that's why we say that slanting is not really blocking, but the straight lines, which is open file and diagonal, rank and file, column and row, it is fully blocking because the king, there is no way that the king can cross, but the diagonally the king can cross, right? That is the reason why the rook is slightly more powerful than the bishop, right? Because rook can block the entire row or a column. Fine. So now after this, sorry, oops, what happened? Set up again. Okay, king here, king here, queen here. And we said that, okay, this might be better. Now, whatever happens, if the king goes to the side, then you try to squeeze him more. Okay. So you see now it is a smaller rectangle. Now we place here. Now you cannot squeeze him further. Then you bring in your king. If he comes here, again bring in your king. Because finally you can checkmate only with the help of the king, right? So if he goes here, now get your king up here. Now he is forced. Now he will be forced. He cannot go here. He cannot go here. He will be forced to come to the edge of the board. Sorry, not here. He will be forced to come to the edge of the board. Let us say here. Yeah.
Sir, if the king was at the edge of the board and it was like, and this position was there 2 blocks front, then it would have been a stalemate.
It would have been, so you have to be careful, but normally you will not. So you just go to the 7th rank like this. I mean, it is like now you see you are controlling this entire thing, and now the king cannot come. Now it will be very easy for you to checkmate now. Wherever black king goes, right? Wherever it goes. If he goes here, then also you come here. Then he has to go here and then you have checkmated. So it becomes very easy. So you have to bring in your king and keep squeezing with the queen, right? This is what I have explained in the handout also, right? See how establish a cutoff and then keep bringing your king, and along with the king you finally you see how this is this position, you see it, right? Let me bring it up. This position, if you see it, see, this is what we are trying to achieve, right? So once the king is at the edge of the board, it is very easy for you to checkmate, right? So so please watch the video. See, don't skip my videos, because that is the first thing, because where I have explained it in detail, and then the handout also. So if you go through it, then you will realize it very easy. So checkmating with the queen is like, it should come like, even if you are in sleep and somebody asks you to do it, within 2 minutes you should be able to checkmate. Okay, at 3 a.m. in the morning also someone wakes you up from your bed and says, oh, this is the position, give the checkmate. You should be able to do it. That is how you should get the mastery. Okay. Cool. All right. Now the comes the next thing. So queen mates are very simple, very easy. Now we'll see the another type of mate first, which is not a, yeah, let us put like this. Okay. Okay. Now with two rooks, how to checkmate with the two rooks? Anyone wants to, let me put the chat. You want to, let me see who has seen how much. Two rook mate. Yeah, yeah. Can you tell the move? Can you type the move on the chat? There is a technique for this which I have explained again in my video. Rook to g4. Rook to g4. Okay. Rook to g4 better is actually rook to f4. Yeah, rook to f4 is better because why it is who is to move, black to move, huh? Okay, okay, maybe I made it black to move, that's okay, but doesn't matter. Rook to f4 is better because now you see this entire thing is blocked. Now the king might come here and attack. Now what you want to do is you want to use both the rooks together to squeeze the king. Okay, so if the king attacks, now what should you do? There is a very important move that that you should know. No, not to rook g4. Then you will keep switching. Then you will wasting moves. Okay. Go as much away from the king as possible. But you are maintaining the Lakshman Rekha. See, this is the Lakshman Rekha, right? The king cannot cross it. So, yeah, either f8 or f1. Okay, that is okay. f8 is also okay. Swada, you are right. Now, left, if the king moves, now you see how you have to use the rooks as, see, already you are having one Lakshman Rekha. Now you bring the king here, the rook here, and you create one more Lakshman Rekha. Okay, so now the king cannot cross this at all. See, now king will be forced to the edge of the board, but maybe it will try to come up here, and you can't give a checkmate immediately. But now next move you will be able to give a checkmate. How? Always remember with the rooks, not rook h1. Wait, because the rook on g4 is hanging, so you cannot give a checkmate right now because the other rook is defenseless. So go away from the king as much as possible. Okay. So now let the king go wherever he wants. G1. No, not G1. Not G1 because you are blocking your other rook. See, finally you want to give this checkmate with the other rook. Okay. But if you bring your rook to G1, then it will block your own rook and it will not allow you. So you can go to G2 or you can go to G8. Okay, G8 is best because it is in the other direction. Now wherever the king moves, now you can give a checkmate. Okay, so you got this. Yeah.
So is it like you always have to go far away from the king?
Yeah, because that is better. See, it is better when the king attacks your rook. That time it is always better to go far away because rook can travel even 7 moves in one shot. King will take a lot of time to go, and you get enough time to then squeeze him and give a checkmate, right? Like what you got. So always better. In fact, I will show you another position. So I hope you understand. See how you have to use this is and not. Okay, so not somebody was saying rook g1. Rook g1 is a mistake because after this king moves, now you cannot give a checkmate, right? Now, because you are blocking each other. So best is rook should be on different ranks and different files. Then they can really act like a scissor and completely squeeze the king.
Sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, sometimes when the king was on h5 and the rook and the white rook on at g
Here. Okay.
4,
Yeah.
then if some people they just try giving a checkmate, they will put the king to h1 and the king will kill the other rook.
Correct. Exactly. This happens sometimes, and that's why you have to be careful, right? So this is so you have to be careful and not give this. It is still possible to checkmate with the lone rook, which is what we are going to see next. But it is best when you have two rooks. Why do you want to give it away? So, right. So best is when you have the two rooks, then go there and give a finally squeeze the king. Yeah, somebody calls this a ladder mate. Yes, this may be called as. So essentially, it is like this one. So I'll just very quickly take you to a new position where the king, black king is not here, but let us say here. White king is, let us say, not here, but farther far away, and the white rooks are not here. Okay, let us start with this position very quickly and let us see how you will play this. Okay, it is white to play. Oh, sorry, it is white to play here, not black to play. Okay, okay. How you will want to start? Rook to d4. No, rook to d4 means the other rook will be get killed. So you have to protect the rooks first. Yes, Swada, you are right. Rook to f6 is good move, or rook to d4. That is also a good move. Okay, whichever one. But first you protect your rooks. Okay. Now king will start coming like this. Yes.
Sir,
Yeah.
like if the white rook is on f4, and then you can get the other white rook on d4.
This is anything is okay. See, anything is okay as long as you save the two rooks. Okay. Remember, you should not lose the two rooks. But there is any of the other moves, any of the four moves are okay. Okay, but protect your rooks. Okay, after that, now the king will start. Okay, let us say king goes here. Now how do you know that see, you should have in your mind first decide where you want to checkmate the king when you are playing only with the two rooks. Okay, so you should first decide whether I want to give it on the left side or the right side. Okay, now and based on that you play. Okay, so let us say you have decided that you want to checkmate the king on the H file here to the right. Now, so for that, you need to block him. And now with this, now you are going to force him. He cannot go here. He cannot go here. So he will have to come here, right? So now you establish, go away from the king as much as possible. Now see, he anyway cannot cross this. So he has to go somewhere here also, here only, right? Let us say. Now you bring in the other rook. Okay. Again, he cannot cross this. He cannot cross this. So he will try to come and attack your rook. Now, remember the principle. Don't block your own rook and go away from the king as much as possible. So you can come to either f2 or go to f8. Let us say you come to f2. Fine. Okay. Now, see, this is blocked. This is blocked. So king will try to come near your rook. You give a check now. See, now you have squeezed him further, right? So now this and this is gone. So he will try to come here, right? So when he comes here now, the technique is, see, you cannot give a checkmate now on h2. So go to g8, go to g8. Okay, go as far away as possible. Now, when the rook comes here now, tell me the move now. Yeah, rook to h2. Now it is checkmate, right? So this is what is the technique for checkmating with the rooks. First, remember to save the rooks, then decide which direction you want to squeeze the king, then slowly work towards it. And remember, if the king comes too close to your king, attacks, then move the rook all the way to the down. But remember, you have to keep squeezing the king to the side one by one, and you have to use both the rooks properly. Okay. If there is any doubt, then re-watch my video that I have sent. Okay. All right. Cool. So now I'm going to very quickly look at the next position, which is, let us say, which is this position, and the black king is not here. Let us say here. So checkmating with the rook. This is slightly tricky, but once you get it, you do it 3-4 times, then you will understand how to do this. See, remember, in case of queen and two rooks, it was very easy because you were able to squeeze the king just with the help of the queen or with the help of the two rooks, but here you have to use the king also, your own king also. Okay. So first thing, who is to play here? It is white to, no, it is, let us say, okay, let us make it black to play. Wherever you want to play, I will demonstrate you so that you will understand. Okay, you play from the black side. Suggest a move for black. Type quickly, someone, or say which, what will black play? E4, king to E4, fine. If king to E4, then I will first want to bring the rook to D1 so that I have blocked this entire king. Half the board is gone now. Only king, I will allow the king only to move between E, F, G and H. Okay, not rook to E2, not rook to E2, because then the king will come to D4 and he will have more choices. So rook to D2 because I want to block. Okay, now king to E5. Okay, king to E5. Then I will start bringing in my king. Okay. Remember, remember the rook is also very powerful. This and this. So, right. So these two directions it is blocking. Now I want to make sure that the king does not escape from this rectangle. And now I will keep squeezing it further and further. Okay. Now you tell your move. Tell your move for black. King to F5. Somebody is saying king to F5. Okay, king to F5. I will come rook to E2. Again, now I have squeezed you further. Okay, correct. Bhavin, you are right. Okay, now next move from black. F4, king to F4. Excellent. It's a good way to come and attack, but I will bring my king nearby. Fine. F3. Okay, excellent. Now you have attacked my rook. You are asking. Now, if I make a mistake, then I will allow the king to escape. But I don't want to make a mistake. I know that I have got him in this bind. So I will just bring my king and support my rook. Not rook to even here right now. It is better to keep the thing because that will allow him to come on the second rank, right? So rook to even will give him more space to come here. I don't want him. So I want to maintain that thing and bring the king here. Okay, now king to F4. Okay, if you say king to F4, then it's a decentish move. So what I will do is I will go all the way to the other end. Rook E8. Yeah, so or wait, let me this one. Yeah, it is rook to E8 is the best move here. Okay, then king to F5. King to F5. Now I will play rook to E4. See, now I have squeezed him into a even smaller rectangle here. Right? Now, see, I'm using my rook and king intelligently to keep squeezing. Now, king to, where does the black king move? King to F6. Okay. King to F6. Then I will bring my king to E3. F7. F7, if you do it very well, I will go and grab the E5 square because now I have squeezed him further, right? King to G6. If king to G6, then I will bring my king here to F4. Okay, if you go now, if you go to G7, I bring my king up further. Okay. Where will you want to go? H7. If you go to H7, not rook E7, there is an even better move. King to F6. Now that I will want to squeeze your king to the last rank. G8. Okay. King to G8. Now I can sense the checkmate. See, there is a technique But here I can get opportunistic. I will go rook to h5, force you to go to not g5, force you to go to king f8, and now there is a beautiful checkmate. So rook to h1. See, always for the checkmate with the lone rook, right? You will have to get something similar to this position. The kings will have to be in opposition to each other with one square in between. The losing king will have to be on the edge of the board, and the rook will give a check along the line. So that, see, it is always the pattern is that these squares are blocked by the white king, and then the white rook means white means whichever is the rook which is winning, white or black, but it will give a check along the back rank, and while the king will be blocked from coming up the board. This is the pattern of the checkmate. So if you have done the mate in one puzzles on chess king, there will be lot of puzzles in the rook checkmates like this. So you would have got your eye right. If you have not done it, time to go and do it on chess king. Okay. So this is the technique. Is the technique. In between, suppose if you had made some other move here, let us say if you had gone, who was to play here? Okay, if you had gone to rook to, suppose h6, then you use this technique, what I mentioned, get the rook in here. So now it is very small thing that you have. Now your king can have only 3 moves. So king will go to h7. If king goes to h7, bring up your king. Okay, now the black king will not want to go to the corner. Let us say he comes up. If he comes up again, you bring up your king, force him to go here. Now after this, you should know how to checkmate very simply after this. Okay, because after this it is very simple. Now check, king goes here. Now king has to make a move, so you can put him into zugzwang, not allow him to, he cannot come here. He cannot come, he has no other move except going here. So you just wait for him to go here, and then give the checkmate, right? So after you practice it 3-4 times, then you will know how to do it, how to handle it when the king is really in the corner, then how to exactly give a checkmate with the help of the king. You will get it. Just practice it or follow my handout. Okay, Eden, go ahead.
So I don't understand if it's zugzwang or zugzwang.
If whatever way you call it, it is okay. It is a German word, so it is not like native to English. So the pronunciation might be thing, but yeah, Zugzwang, Zugzwang, Sukswang, whichever way you call it, I think it's okay.
Yes, sir. Thanks, yes, sir.
All right, so that is pretty much it. So that completes it, and your practice tourney is starting now in a minute. So you can go back if you have any questions. Hold back. Otherwise, I am pretty much done. So I am stopping the recording.